Hey everyone, this is Harg, and I'm here to help. So this is going to be the first video of Heroes of Might and Magic Era of Chaos. And this is a game I've been playing for the last probably 2 months, and it's it's really good. It's a really good game. It's I don't want to spend too much time kind of introducing the game. What I'm doing is a series of videos that kind of breaks down some of the important things to keep in mind every day as you're playing the game. It's one of those games where there's people that can put a lot of money into it. There's people that just kind of go and do free to play and just kind of grind through it. Um, what I've done is as I do with all my videos, I made a baby account so I can use BlueStacks and use my PC to record the videos and things. And it's just kind of it's in a good position. I've been playing this character now for about 8 days. Um, it just kind of shows where you'd be at the end of a week. Um, it's no VIP, no nothing spent on it, not even the beginner pack or anything. Just kind of showing up and doing the minimum things every day. And this first video then is about strong units. The game at its very basic level, you have a hero and you have a team of units, usually 8 once you get to that point where you've played a few levels. If you've been playing it and you're just kind of looking for some guidance, then you're gonna know your way around the interface and stuff. But here's the game. It's busy. There's a lot going on. It's a little bit intimidating, but at the same time, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of. It's almost like a dozen mini games kind of all squished together, the way they do the solo and the PvE and the PvP and the cross server stuff and everything else. And so there's a lot, but let's just talk about specifically over here. We're going to look at units. And what you want to do is build up your units so that they're stronger. That's pretty basic, pretty straight ahead. But I've written out a list for myself of everything to mention in the video, and it's extensive. Like there's a lot of different things. So we're gonna try to make this number bigger. Right now, its power is 11,942. The big players on my main server have powers in the hundreds of thousands at this point. So, but here are the steps you do to get to that. And first off, the level. So the level caps at the level that you are as a player. My level is capped at 42. So this character is already max level. Let's go. We'll go to this character. Say okay. So level 41. So we want to upgrade. You can click upgrade one, and it'll do one level at a time. If you have a new character that you need to level up quickly, you can do it 5 levels at a time. If you only need 2 levels to get to your cap or whatever, and you click the 5, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna waste anything, or it'll just do what it can. So okay, boom, cool. That character's up to my max level. But we're gonna go back here to the ice elemental and uh, and say okay, so it's 11,942. Very cool. Uh, so its equipment is currently at level 40. It's level 42, so you can use this button and it'll boop upgrade your equipment up to that new max level. So hey, look, we're already up over 12,000. Fantastic. Um, to raise the level of the equipment, to raise the quality, let's say, so it starts just like most games. It goes gray and then green and then blue and then purple and then orange. Although within the purple, there's purple one, purple, basic like this, and then purple with a dot, and purple with 2 dots, purple 3 dots. It goes up to orange, and eventually it goes up to red, but that's at the very, very high levels. I've not seen that. My main character is at level 90, and we're still waiting to get to the unlock to be able to get to orange 4. Um, but then if you wanted to augment this equipment, so you could say okay, I want to raise the level of it, and I have the books, I have the rocks, I need the lumber. So you can go to any of the missions that you've done already, and you can go and play the level again, or you can just sweep it. There's a sweep 10 option that becomes unlocked, I think, at like level 20, something like that. You'll run across it. But you sweep it. Oh, all right. Got sweep again. Okay, we're up to 4 of 5. We'll sweep one more time. Okay, cool. Now we're at 5 of 5. Fantastic. So you got to exit all the way back on all those things. It's a little bit clunky of an interface, but then you can upgrade it, and boom, now it's at purple +1. Very good. Um, so that's one way to make your guy a little bit stronger. Very cool. Um, so we talked about level up. We talked about upgrade. So the rank up. Now this is an interesting thing. So you get these tokens of the characters, and you can get them a bunch of different ways. And we're going to kind of walk through that for a second. You can click up here at this plus sign, and you can get barrack redemption. And what the barracks redemption is when you get to level 42, you can start to build barracks, and you can build these uh, barracks for each unit that you have unlocked. Um, so we want the is it this one? Yeah. So this guy here, build it, and then over time it adds tokens. It builds them up over time. So it's one per 8 hours. So there's three that I got just for the building of it. I can load them up, exchange it. Cool. I got three more tokens. Neat. That brings my total up to 10. That's one way to do it. So we'll back out, back to our item origin list. You can go to the campaign store, and I'm going to walk you through kind of some of the store stuff towards the end because the store is a little bit uh, cumbersome, let's say. And then there's the altar of recruitment. And the altar of recruitment is just your it's your you'll notice if you've played the game at all, you've already been introduced to this. You've got your silver keys, you've got your gold keys, and you can go in here and try to get tokens. Now the thing is about this, of course, is that it's luck of the draw. You might get something that you need. You might get something you're hoping for. You might get something you don't already have, or you can just get a bunch of stuff. But it's all valuable, but it's definitely not like a guaranteed thing. You're not going to get exactly what you want compared to the barracks redemption, or buying things from the store. And then eventually, this character, I haven't gotten to the level yet where I can farm tokens for him in the underground, but as you play through the underground, you can gather tokens there as well. So here we are back at this rank up screen, and we have enough tokens that we can activate, and it'll fill that in, and that's going to affect our number of stars once we rank him up. He's going to go from 2 stars to 3 stars. Cool. So much more power, higher roster rating, higher attack, etc. Right, all the stats go up. So it's up to 3 stars, and we're already up to 13,446 for power. Very cool. Next thing is the skill. So as you level up, as you get better gear or whatever, the cap for your skills rises, and eventually, so like when I get them to all orange, this last skill will unlock, and I'll have that, and then also the cap of the skills goes up over time as well. So you can upgrade that. You throw a couple gems at it. Cool. Upgrade. So now that skill is maxed out, and I've got a little bit more power. So you get those maxed out, keep them maxed out. My guys on my main character, the skill cap is 15, and that takes a lot of work to get those all the way up to 15. You have to get a lot of the skill gems for that, but we'll talk about where those can all come from in a little bit, and then. Over here, there's this talent button. You can go to the talent, and there are these potions, and you turn in the potions, and you get your skill levels developed, and you can do them 10 at a time. If they're 5 per try, so if you have more than 50, you can just say develop 10. It'll come up, and it'll say, do you want to keep this? It's going to be a net gain for me of 1,105. So yeah, I'll take that. Cool. So and it knocked me up a higher roster grade, as well as just kind of the base skill gather energy has gone up to level 3. We can do that again real quick just for the lols. 755. Cool. So cool. And this is just a really powerful way to go up in power. Now the potions here, these come from a specific place in the that I'll show you here in just a minute. Um, cool. So we're already up over 15,000. And this character doesn't have an awakening. So let's grab one that does. So one of the things that not all the characters have, all the SSRs do, but and they're kind of slowly rolling out more as they go. Um, is this awakening, and you click that and you say awaken immediately. The character has to be all in orange gear to start the awakening. But what that does is it just gives you a series of mini missions. It's things like, hey, when you go to do your daily grind of coins or whatever from one of the dungeons, you use this character plus a couple others from his set, and that sort of thing. And it's mostly, the biggest thing about it is that there's a grind of these tokens you have to get from the underground. You can get 10 a day. You can buy more tries with gems. Usually I do, so I'll usually do one rebuy of each day, so I get 20 gems, and that way you get a little bit better than one awakened character per week. But that's a little bit later than this, a little bit later in the game than this character is ready for. But that's a good way to ramp up. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the soul stones that happen in that as well. Uh, the relevance tab is kind of funny when you're first playing and you look at it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but this talks about your roster connection, and your roster connection. So this character is a stronghold. That's his sect or whatever, and then he's a defensive type character. That's what this icon means over here. Um, so when you go to your roster, which we'll go to here in just a second, then you'll be able to see where those bonuses come from, and then different units have different heroes that they have special cross skills with, and this one uses Mephala, Craghack, Kilgore, and I don't have any of those heroes on this guy. Let's grab a different. So we'll grab. The Wood Elf has uh, a good bonus with Gelu, and which is the hero that you get for free at the end of your first week. And Gelu is just super important. You want to just go ahead and do everything you can to level him up. He's the most vital of the PVE heroes. So when you're going to grind gold and some of the other PVE stuff, he's just super valuable to have. Not super great at PvP, but very very important for PVE. So let's go back to the main screen and we'll go to the roster. So here we're talking about the elf. So the wood elf is here. She's an S grade. The grades here, just like in a lot of games, C, B, A, S, with S being the highest. And the units that you put into your roster area combine to add this rampart bonus, which goes across then all of these characters. So everybody that's a rampart unit will get these bonuses, and then because she's a rampart and a ranged unit, she'll also get these bonuses, even though she's not in this roster, in the ranged roster. And then eventually you'll be buying these other slots to unlock to make them more and more powerful. And that's kind of a hidden way. It's not super obvious, but it's a way to make your characters more powerful, even by leveling up other characters. Because they share these bonuses, and so that's really important to have high level characters, even if they're not the ones that you're rolling out onto the field. They make the characters that you are rolling out more powerful, and that's super cool. So uh, wanted to talk about the shipyard. So the shipyard is where you go, and you'll get this as part of your when you're following the red dots around the beginning of the game to get into the game. They'll explain kind of what these are, and it's really just you set it up. You say, okay, cool. Here's some units, and then they go and grind and get you the tokens that you use for. Let's back out to the inventory. So they will get you um, the. Oh my gosh! I just had a brain fart. So they'll get you tokens that you use to level up your characters, and then um, the other thing in here is the Trial of Angels. And as you go through the Trial of Angels, whether you perform the attack fresh or you just sweep them, uh, sweep is here. So you pick kind of the whichever one it is, whichever type of potion that you want. And these are the potions that we used to raise up um, the skills on the characters on the screen before. So it's just kind of everything you do in the game has some sort of influence on every other part of the game, right? There's all the weird little tokens and scrolls and books and everything that you collect along the way has a purpose that you'll run across at at various points. Um, I want to talk about there are things like the astrologer and the magic guild and artifacts and the spell bookshelves and things like that. Emblems, that's something that comes later in the game. Those are all ways to make you more powerful, but they're not for the units more than they are for kind of your for the hero and then for kind of your stats overall. So we'll do a separate video that talks about those and how to make the hero stronger, what heroes to look for, what situations to use them in, that sort of thing. Um, so let's go to the marketplace, and the marketplace has this is your basic marketplace is the first one you see when you first start playing, and you can use gold or diamonds to buy the various unit shards. But really, on this screen, you're almost never going to buy any of these things. If you really, really, really decided you really, really wanted, you know, any of these characters, or you wanted those characters to be stronger or something like that, you can do it. It's just really there. It's not the best deal. Really, here it's all about the casting crystals. You need the casting crystals to level up your emblems. Um, the arena. This is for when you're doing your dailies in the arena. You get these reward coins and then you can spend them here. Early in the game, you could use them for the crystals um, to level up your units, or you could buy more of the tokens. That's a good place to get some of these easier tokens. They're it's basically just free tokens, right? Because you're just doing the dailies to get them. But then also later on you can get soul stones, and the soul stones are for once you've awakened the character, you use the soul stones to go up kind of they're like hero levels for the units. And these are kind of the easiest ones to get, and so you'll want to make sure that you'll level up your war unicorn, your unicorn to a war unicorn, your thunderbird, your silver pegasus. And then campaign is one of the other daily things, and this is so the currency you'll get from that, and it's the same sort of thing where you can buy. Um, so it's very easy to level up your ice elemental, your knoll, and then when you're doing the awakened vampire lord, you can level them up pretty well in the hero levels with that. Artifacts. This is where your artifacts live for artifacts that you can buy directly. This store changes daily. Generally speaking, save this currency. Don't spend it on the little things. The greens, the blues, and even the purples come pretty easily over time. You don't have to really sweat about that. You'll spend these tokens on like Dragonbone Greaves. You want to get the Dragonbone set. They're 1,800 a piece, so that's just it's a much bigger bang for your buck, and you know, if especially if you don't want to spend actual money on it. The guild. This is the guild store where you as you do challenges each day with in your guild, which we'll do an entire video about the things you do every day for the guild. But here's the store where you can buy, you know, more tokens of different kinds. And again, it's kind of like just getting free stuff, but you get to direct it a little bit. And as your guild levels up, more things will open. And then champion level, this is for your battle of god stuff, which is kind of your it's a different, yet another PvP thing within the game that you do daily. If you're a free to play player, you get tries. If you're a VIP player, you get 6 tries a day, and then you can buy hero tokens to level up your heroes. And again, we'll talk about that in great detail in a different video. And then these other so raises the plane unlocks at level 60. Kingdom Championship is later when the server is a little more mature. The sign-in store is every day as you're doing again your dailies and different stuff. You get the currency for this, and you can buy the tokens for these heroes, and it's a good thing to do for getting pretty solid. These are kind of like Adelaide and Jedi are some of the middle range heroes. And then the God Store is for later. That's for in the cross server stuff. So, and then another thing to notice is in your guild, you've got a wishing fountain, and the wishing fountain you can say, okay, I want people to give me swordsmen, and then somebody will come along and say, oh, I have an extra swordsman, I'll donate it, and then you'll also get 50 of the guild currency. So I've got an extra one of these, I'll send it to him, you know, etc. And you can do that 3 times a day to 6 times a day, depending on kind of where you are for VIP level. Again, this character is very basic, so but it's just another way to get kind of directed shards. You can say this is specifically what I want. Um, and mostly it's just about watching for those things. It's about, you know, making sure that if you see a red dot on your screen, right? So like this is a red dot, and you say, oh, okay, this was something that I've completed as I've been doing things, so I can claim it and get the prize. And just make sure you do that every day, probably twice a day if you're going to be serious about it. And then, like I said, we'll do a series of videos. The next one will be about heroes. I've got that on the board right now, and then we'll also do one of kind of strategies around how to spend money in the game, like where to put your diamonds, and if there's anything that comes up that is valuable enough that you might actually want to spend real money on it. Kind of how to know not to be wasteful with that. This game is very it's nuanced in how it asks for things. Most of the time, though, if you're active, you can gather these diamonds. I haven't, you know, this there's been 0 money spent on this account, and I've been able to generate, you know, roughly 3,000 diamonds a day just from doing the leveling stuff. That slows down very, you know, eventually, but the game's fairly generous early on. Probably, you know, just wants you to get hooked. But so that's the list, and then I put the list on the side of the screen as well, so that you can over here to the left of this swirling arrow, you can see the list of places that we just talked about, and just make sure that every day you go through and make sure that the units that you care about are being leveled up, and that you're getting stronger every day. So hope that helped, and look for the next video coming soon. Thank you.